with that said, we're going to go ahead and start this meeting off with our House of Representatives, Mr. Murrell Smith.
Most of you over here told Jack earlier I'm your representative. Jack thought they'd get rid of me soon. I'm your representative until next November after the next election. As most of y'all know, reapportionment didn't work out too well for me over here in Clarendon County, in that I had 2 precincts here in Clarendon County, and now because of redistricting, I can get into all the reasons and why it's happened, but nonetheless, I'm no longer going to be in Clarendon County. And I want to tell you all, members of the Clarendon County Party, and boy, it's an honor for what y'all did during reapportionment. One of the first things I did when I found out that they were not going to allow me to remain in Clarendon County and that Kevin Johnson would have to be taking all of Clarendon County was to call Moy and say, Moy, this is what's happening. I'm not happy about it. And I'm telling you one thing, Clarendon County may be small, but they sure are loud, because I can tell you one thing, those in Columbia heard it loud and clear, and really we almost got it changed. I'm always going to be your representative as long as I'm serving over here. I tell you, I've been to all your meetings. I remember the first time I came when June called me up, I went out to the Compass, and then we've gone to the Santee, and then we've ended up here. So as the party's grown, I've grown with y'all over there, and I always can tell you is I've enjoyed my time representing you. I will continue to be there. So don't write me off in this year saying this is my last year representing you. I'll be with you till November, but I will still be here and still be a part of this group, because y'all have always been very kind to me, and I thank you for that. Let me talk to you a little bit about what we're doing in Columbia this next session, and I'm just going to mention a couple of things. This is an election year, so after we get through these presidential primaries, we're going to be dealing with us, General Assembly, in an election. We have all 170 members. That's 124 House members, and all 46 senators are up for re-election. So this is a time, once every 4 years, that things actually get accomplished in Columbia, because the Senate can't hide behind things when they've all got elections going on. And those of y'all who've heard me talk about the Senate, that's where the logjam of what I consider some good conservative reform has happened over the last few years, is in that South Carolina Senate. So it is going to be time for us to have these issues that we dealt with at the House passed last year move forward with the Senate. A couple things that I want y'all's help with next year that we're going to have. There's 2 issues, and they're going to be some difficult issues. Y'all saw how the Ohio election turned out with the collective bargaining and what happened in Wisconsin. We don't have that in South Carolina. But what we do have is we do have a strong state employees association, and we've got a problem in our South Carolina retirement system. We have got a deficit that we have got to fix. We cannot, the liabilities in it is just not going to be able to be sustained with what's being paid. So we're going to have to deal with the retirement system. And it's not going to be an easy fix. Both the Senate and the House has created retirement study committees. They've had members come out, and I can tell you the answers that what we're going to do to make this a fiscally sustainable retirement system is going to be difficult for those who are retirees and for those who are in the state system. There's going to be a lot of opposition. But we cannot have a retirement system that's going to go broke in a number of years. We know it all too well that actuarially you can't value a system when people 20 or 30 years ago were living 10 less years than they're living now. So we're going to have to make some tough choices, and it's going to be for the betterment of the state. We've got a AAA credit rating in the state. That's something that's very important. The credit agencies have told us that if we don't get a hold of our state retirement system, we're going to be in danger of losing our AAA credit rating. We cannot let that go. That's too important. So we're going to have to make some tough decisions. They're going to be difficult. You're going to see a lot of strong lobby. You're going to see a lot of information, misinformation go out. But we got to keep our focus. I was telling the folks in the Sumter Republican Party a couple of weeks ago that we had a few of us went over to the governor's mansion and had lunch with her to discuss what we were going to do next year in the House. And a #1 priority for her is going to be the South Carolina retirement system and fixing that liability. So I ask for all of y'all who believe in this and know that this is the right thing to join us and help us when we deal with this. It must be done now. There is no wait until tomorrow. So I ask y'all join us in that. And the other issue we've got to do in South Carolina that the governor is behind, and I think most of us, at least in the House and I presume in the Senate, are going to be behind it, we've got to deal with tax reform. Taxes in South Carolina is a hodgepodge of just problems. There's no other way to put it. We got a disincentive where taxes drive out manufacturers and they don't treat everybody equally. So we're going to have to take on that tough task of tax reform next year. Tax reform is going to be where we're going to have some fight. It's not going to be from the unions or the employees associations. It's going to be from the lobbyists, because everybody's ox is going to get gored in some way or another. That's why we can't pass tax reform in South Carolina. So again, to move this state forward, to make us competitive, not only are we competing with other states and other southeastern states and other states around the country, we're competing with other countries. And right now, I want to tell you, I think Governor Haley has done an excellent job in what she's doing in recruiting industry. And that's what we need to keep up that momentum. But to do that, we got to be competitive, and our tax system's got to be competitive. The Commerce Department will tell you our tax system is not competitive with other states. It's got disincentives. We got a high manufacturing tax. We have got to bring that tax down. And you know, this Occupy Wall Street and all this movement of helping the 1%. Well, the 1%, and we got to, when we make these changes, we've got to do that because that helps us all, because it brings jobs to this state. But also, we got to keep our focus on small business. No matter what you say, we can recruit lots of industries here. Small business is the backbone of employment in South Carolina. So we need to concentrate on small business and make that competitive, the tax system competitive for small business and small employers. So those are two issues that next year they're going to be very difficult for us to deal with. But I think the groundswell, the grassroots, the people like us in this room have got to come forward and say, we demand these reforms. And with your help and with your assistance, it's funny how things get passed. A few years ago, we were sitting over here talking about voter ID, and it was stuck in the Senate. Well, the activists and the grassroots people got behind it, and we passed voter ID this year. So that's just a testament to tell you that when you all get involved and you make your voices heard, no matter how insignificant you think it may be in Columbia, we hear it in Columbia loud and clear, and we react to that. So I ask that you do that. Let me speak lastly. I know we got a number of people from campaigns here, and I always like to say this. We're going through a presidential primary. It is a great time in South Carolina. If I can borrow the governor's phrase, it's a great day in South Carolina when we have the presidential candidates come here and visit with us. And it's an exciting time for all of us. We all back our candidates. I've yet to endorse anyone, and quite frankly, I may not this go around, but all of us have our candidates. But I want you to remember, when it's all over with, no matter how hard we go out and campaign, no matter how hard we support someone, in the end there's going to be one winner. And that one winner, that all of us, no matter where we were before, must get behind that one winner, because the goal is to defeat Barack Obama. I can tell you this country cannot sustain another 4 years of the agenda that's passed in Washington, D.C. So we have got to move forward and keeping our eye on the ball and our eye on the goal. So I wish every candidate luck. I know we're all going to work hard. It's an exciting time, and let's enjoy it. But after this primary is over with and after we have our nominee, let's rally behind our nominee, and let's make sure that we take back the White House in 2012. So again, I appreciate y'all having me today. Maury, thank you. Always a pleasure to come visit. Y'all have a great chairman over here, and he's always in touch with me and making sure that I'm going to be here. I guess I'll always continue. He called me from New Orleans last night. If I was in New Orleans, all due respect, Maury, I'd be doing something else besides calling politics. But, you know, it's nice to be here. I always enjoy it. Thank you very much for having me.